Renegade, suicide, renegade. Pop a couple waves up in my grave. Carving my skin with the blade. I don't fuck with squillers, no drug dealer. Stealer with the sealer. Sick of that, always wreck. Bitch get checked. Great 5-9 set. Chop 'em, make 'em wet. Watch me flex. Y'all just second best. Never.
What's up, guys? I'm Student Operator, and in this video we're going to be doing an overview of my 12.5-inch AR. Pistol. Yeah, pistol. Fuck the gay TF. Since this is the second video that I've recorded before third video I've recorded without posting one, I don't know the messed up comment is yet. For all of you guys who are new here, every video we give a shout out to the person who left the most messed up comment in the comment section of the previous video. I don't know what it is yet, so we're about to check in with future me to find out what the most fucked up thing you guys said is this time. What's up, guys? Student Operator here, back to actually being a student. Took a year off, but back in my college apartment now, with your most messed up comment from the HKP30 video. So $D space $D to make it look like two smiley faces from before cell phones had emojis. He said, HK, more like H-gay, am I right? You are. He also commented, still want an MP7 though. Same, bro. And now that we got that out of the way, we can go ahead and dive into this build overview. So now, in full transparency, nobody gave me any of the parts or pieces for this, except the lower does belong to my good buddy, Operation Hurricane. Pop your head in there.
What's up, dudes?
Besides that, everything is mine. I paid full price for it, with the exception of the Lunar Concept sling retainer, but we'll discuss that when we get there. So here we're gonna dive right on into this and discuss what's in it and what goes on with it. So we're gonna start out with what makes this particular build so interesting. So this is a mid-length gas system, 12.5-inch barrel. So now what's really special about that is there are only 3 companies that I know of that make barrels like that. We have Triarc Systems, Noveski, and KAK Industries, which is who makes this barrel. Now, why is this particular combination so special? Usually you don't see mid-length gas system barrels until you reach 13.7 barrel length. Having a 12.5, such a small compact package that recoils as smoothly as a well-gassed 14.5 is a really big advantage. Just that smoother cycling operation, less wear on your bolt carrier group and other components, and just an overall better shooting experience. Make this a SBR length pistol, thank you KTF, that still recoils much like a full-size rifle. So now this barrel in particular is the KAK Industries barrel. I got this as a Christmas present. I would have preferred the Triarc, like my buddy Operation Hurricane has bought. Can't wait to compare those. So a little bit about this barrel. It's about $109 retail. Accuracy has been more than acceptable in my experience. At 100 yards with a red dot, I am shooting at sub 2-inch groups with shitty range ammo. So I have no doubt in my mind that with good ammo and some magnifying glass, it'll easily be sub MOA. The barrel is a little bit overgassed, but it is still so much better gas than a lot of the barrels that you're going to get from ARs that you buy at like your big box stores, like any kind of Bushmaster, DPMS. Now, this thing's better gassed than a Dano Defense Mark 18, or it's about as good as a BCM. If you put a muzzle device on here that helps to control recoil, like a Warcomp or a Sons of Liberty Gunworks Nox, or use gas constricting components from Black River Tactical, like their gas blocks or gas tubes, you can have this gun shoot very, very flat, very easily. And it is exceptionally flat for a gun that is this short. Out here on the end of this guy, I just have a A2 birdcage flash hider. For this gun, honestly, like the recoil, I know I just said it's overgassed, but it's really not that bad. It doesn't shoot as flat as like a Triarc, but it's still fairly well gassed. I I haven't added any kind of recoil reducing components to it. And even with the flash hider, I can still run this gun faster than I could run like a Dana Defense Mark 18. So it's not that bad gas. Don't freak out about the barrel. The A2 does a pretty good job on this barrel of reducing flash, your flash signature when firing at night. I've had some other barrels that didn't really like an A2 flash hider. They still spit fireballs, but this guy's been pretty tamed down by this muzzle device. Working our way back to the upper, this is a Aero Precision. This is just their standard upper receiver. It's not the M4E1 or whatever they call their fancy one. It's just their standard receiver. And inside we have a standard Aero Precision nitrided bolt carrier group. The handguard is, and also Aero Precision gas block and gas tube. The handguard is a BCM QRF10. So it's a Picatinny quad rail that uses the same barrel nut as their KMR and MCMR rails. So very rigid, very good at holding 0 and IR device. It is hollowed out throughout the Picatinny sections on all rails except for the top one, and they did that to lose weight where you don't need it and to retain rigidity where you do. Just a little bit about the bolt carrier group as a little bit of an update. I have a little bit north of 10,000 rounds to this bolt carrier group now. It does need the gas rings to be replaced. I have not. I've just kind of been running it like that for the past like 2,000 rounds or so. And I mean, I have no issues with it. I just wanted to see if anything was going to happen by not replacing them. So nothing's happened yet. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and replace the gas rings there. So this bolt carrier group and through this upper, like I said, I've had about a little bit north of 10,000 rounds and no issues or noticeable loss of accuracy or issues with anything coming loose. So very solidly built upper receiver. Now let's move on to the lower. The lower is a just your standard Aero Precision. I think they call this one the X15 lower. Inside it has the Sons of Liberty Gunworks blaster guts lower parts kit with a LaRue 2-stage trigger. We'll dive into that trigger in a second. The brace is a SB Tactical SBA4. I really like this brace. So collapsible and very, very sturdy and rigid. With braces like the SBA3, when you accidentally put them in your shoulder, they kind of flex a little bit. The SBA4 is rigid in a similar fashion to a stock, which it definitely is not, but repeal the NFA anyway. My only complaint with this brace is the positioning of the QD points. It's kind of halfway up. So it's halfway between the end of the brace and the end of your receivers. And it makes it kind of weird. Like I feel like they tried to do like a happy medium between mounting at the beginning of the buffer tube and mounting back here. And I'm not going to say it like doesn't work because it does, but it's kind of like trying to be best at both worlds and you can't be. My only real complaint with the positioning of this is when I was running a lower optic, which we'll get to, I would oftentimes smash my face into the QD as it's located on this side. And I would hate it. I would absolutely hate it. I used to hate this thing until I had a higher optic and could keep my head a little bit higher up on it. When I had to smash my face down, I was constantly smashing my nose into the swivel on the QD. So I really wasn't a big fan of that. All right, so now let's go ahead and dive into this trigger. An unloaded gun is nothing more than an expensive paperweight. All right, so this is the LaRue 2-stage trigger. Very nice, under $100, feels almost identical, and actually the pull weights are identical to a Geisley SSA. So we have a very, very short and predictable take-up. It comes to a very firm wall and a very crisp and clean break. Very much like a Geisley when it resets, which is very short, but it does push you out past the wall, so you have to come back just a millimeter or so to the wall. And you're right there for another very clean break and reset wall. All right, so as far as what accessories I have on this gun, starting with the iron sights, I'm running a Daniel Defense fixed front sight one here. It's just a simple bolt one. It's been very rigid, repeatable, haven't noticed any kind of loss of zero with that. And on the back here, I have a Magpul M-Bus Pro metal flip up. Been a big fan of that. Charging handle is a Geisley Airborne charging handle. Between that and the Radiant, I kind of don't really care whatever I have on hand. I kind of like having this smaller charging handle where there's nothing really obstructing my usage of it. The wider ones like the normal Geisley supercharging handle or the regular sized Radiant Raptor, been absolutely totally fine with either of those. I like them a little bit more on setups that the charging handle is a little bit less accessible, but since all I'm running is a red dot and the skinny little iron sight back here, I have no complaints using this. The optic is a Trijicon MRO on a ScalarWorks 1.93 inch mount. First about the MRO, a lot of people, it's not the best red dot in the world. It's certainly a big step up from things like HoloSun, and especially like your Bushnell red dots and whatever other cheap Amazon shit is out there. Some people have noted parallax shift with these guys. And while I'm sure it exists with all of the training shooting from unconventional shooting positions that I've done with this, I haven't noticed a handicap, if you will, of being able to hit what I'm trying to hit. So far, it has served me very well. And I mean, okay, if you're operational, maybe get an aim point instead. But for just your average concerned citizen, I don't think this is the best option, or I don't think this is the worst option on the market. Although it's not the best, it's not the worst either. It's certainly durable, good battery life, and as long as you're aware of the limitations, I think if you work within that and just get the dot centered in the glass, you're going to be able to avoid a lot of the issues that come along with this optic. The mount is a ScalarWorks 1.93 inch mount. It's a very nice quick detach mount, and having quick detach on a 1.93 inch optic on a same gun that I'm running iron sights on, I see it as being almost a necessity, because when you flip up your iron sights and try to use those, if your optic fails, you will not be able to see through the optic window. You're going to be looking directly at the base of the mount. So you're not going to be able to see the base of the optic where it meets the mount. So you're not going to be able to see your iron sights through it. So if the gun has irons and your optic is at a 1.93, I think it's incredibly important to have a QD function. The ScalarWorks is advertised as returning to zero. I've tested that as best as I can tell with my own shooting ability and my ammo. That is held true. The weapon light on this guy is the new Cloud Defensive Rain Micro. I am not doing a review of this yet, but I'll give you guys my thoughts on it so far. She's a chunky girl, but so far performance has been really good. A lot of people are quick to discredit the Rain just due to size and the fact that it doesn't accept surefire tail caps. Size, we'll address that first. First of all, yes, it's bigger, but it's bigger for a reason, and it's due to how it's built. The ability to change the location where the tail cap comes out at the side to reduce your cable exposure to outside elements. The ability to tighten or loosen the battery jack, which no other light has either of those two features in the industry. And the head is a little bit larger, but it's no bigger than like a Streamlight HLX. So yeah, it's not the smallest light in the world, but it's not a bad size. And for what you're getting out of it, I think it's a strong contender. The output is definitely there. One thing about the beam, and I'm hoping to be able to do a large weapon light comparison so we can show the differences between all these lights whenever I can be at a place where I have all of the lights that I want to take a look at all in one place. This is a fairly wide spill. It is wider spill than a Modlite PLH V2. However, it certainly has the candela to back it up. So I think that this weapon light is an excellent light for if you're doing things indoors, but also might need to step outside and light someone up at 200 meters down the street, because this light has the candela to do so. It is Cloud Defensive quotes it at 1,300 lumens and 60,000 candelas. So that kind of falls right between the Mod Light PLH V2 and the OKW, if that can give you guys an idea of its performance. The tail cap that comes with it is pretty cool. Or the pressure pad, and the tail cap is as well. It has a pressure pad and a tail cap that are both operating on two separate circuits. So even if something happens and you fuck up your pressure pad, your tail cap will still work, assuming that the light itself isn't fucked up beyond working order. You have two buttons on the pressure pad, one for momentary on and one for constant on. The constant on one, if you press that button and click it on, as soon as you apply any pressure to that light, it will turn it off without having to press the whole way down through the button. So that's a cool little feature. Everything about this light is built to minimize cable exposure. So what that means is they don't want big loops of wire hanging out here. So with the way they designed both the tail cap for this light and the LCS that mounts your pressure pad, it greatly, almost eliminates exposed wire to prevent any kind of snag hazards or anything to burn or cut them. So that has been great. The sling retainer is the only thing that I did not pay full retail price for on this gun. For those of you guys who don't know, I did a charity shoot this past October, and it benefited the Green Beret Foundation. I reached out to Lunar Concepts as they are a company that's local to me, and I'm going to use this opportunity to give a huge shout out to the owner and operator, Chris Moon. He pulled out all the stops to donate a shit ton of stuff for us to raffle off for this charity event. And because of him, we were able to raise over $200 additional through raffles. And we had 8 of these sling retainers to raffle off. And I think like 3 people total entered that raffle, and I ended up winning 5 of them. So, but I've been a really big fan of these guys. They're pretty cool. I'll include a close-up of how this guy works. All right, guys, so here I'm going to show you how to stow your sling with the Lunar Concepts sling retainer. Here I have a Spirited Systems sling in multicam black. So we're going to find the center point like this, hold it up, and I'm going to come in from this side and fold it back, lay it down over the sling retainer, and then this clasps down like that. So it does a really good job at holding the sling there. And as soon as you need it, you can just grab the sling and bring it right out into action. But yeah, the sling retainer, great little sling retainer. Now that I have one on all of my ARs, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I would run an AR without one of these guys. They're not expensive, they're like 20 bucks, but very, very great for Lunar Concepts for giving me the opportunity to get one of these in a raffle for cheaper than buying it. But even if I did have to buy them at full retail, I would absolutely not hesitate to spend the money because these guys are awesome. The reason why you would want to retain your sling is because for having a truck gun or even a home defense gun, you don't want to pick up your gun and have your sling dangling all over the place. Dangle, that's a throwback to an old video. Regardless, especially when pulling it out of a vehicle, you want your sling retained. So these sling retainers do a great job of sucking the gun or sucking the sling up against the side of the gun and keeping it out of the way and from flopping around and getting caught on stuff. And then the sling is very fast to deploy from here. And overall, I just think this is a great product. And I can't see myself running an AR without one of these on it. So guys, that is a general overview and thoughts on my 12.5 inch AR pistol. Hope you guys liked the video. Drop a comment if you have any questions about any of the parts or anything like that. Drop a comment for general feedback on the videos and anything that you guys may have seen me on Instagram running. Don't forget, we have a discount code for free shipping from US Elite Gear. That is in all caps, no spaces, STUDOP. All right. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. If you can actually tolerate watching my videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If not, I don't care. I'm going to keep doing this anyway, and we're going to have fun with it. All right. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Until then, stay safe. Dude, that was beautiful. Damn, dude, I feel like I'm Ian from Forgotten Weapons sitting at this table like this. Hi, thank you for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCullen, and this video we're taking a look at some obscure gun that is only found in museums and auctions where it costs more than your mortgage.
Oh my god.
You watch Forgotten Weapons, right?
I have watched a couple.
Yeah.
I've watched a couple.
Alright, just go ahead and kill this one at this point.
That was a good fucking blue.